you listen to reason? Will you open your eyes?
George in Dunmore, how are you?
Hello?
Hey.
Yes, Matt and Tracy.
Hey.
Yeah, thanks for waiting.
I would like to ask a question, if I may, and that is how the faith of an atheist differs from the faith of a theist, in your opinion. Now, you say that faith is gullibility, yet everyone has faith in something.
No, they don't.
Including yourselves.
No, they don't.
I disagree, sir. Everybody has faith in
Well,
something.
you can disagree all day long, but I'm going to tell you what I mean by faith and why I don't have it. Faith is the excuse people give for believing in something when they don't have a good reason. If you have a good reason to believe in something, you don't need to make appeals to faith.
Well, saying to have a good reason, that is an opinion, I believe.
Well,
if you say, I have a good reason to believe in this, that's your opinion, I might think differently.
Yes, of course you could, but you could also be wrong.
Yes, and so could you.
Correct. So how do we go about determining which of us is actually right?
Well, that's my question. You say that the faith of a theist is gullibility.
Yes. Well, no, not the faith of a theist. I just say faith is gullibility. Doesn't mean it applies to theists. There are people who have faith in things like psychic healers and homeopathy and all sorts of other things, and that's also gullibility. And it is countered by education and an appeal to actually good, demonstrable standards of evidence.
Well, now, if you don't know something for a fact, do you not have faith in it if you believe it to be true?
When you say for a fact, are you saying anytime I'm not absolutely certain, am I using faith?
Yes.
No, I'm not using faith. There are plenty of things that we're not absolutely certain about, but we have reasonable levels of confidence based on good evidence. The fact that I might exercise inductive reasoning and might not be correct or might not be absolutely certain is irrelevant.
And what do you think of the faith of someone who believes in God, who has faith that there is God and there are miracles? What do you think about that faith?
It's gullibility.
And yes. Now, they have the same confidence in the things that they believe in as you do.
Yeah, the difference is the
gullibility.
The difference is that I don't need any faith for the things that I believe in. My views, whether they are absolute certainty or not, which absolute certainty is virtually non-existent, are based on evidence that is demonstrable, investigated, falsifiable, things like that.
Well, if I can use an example, and I will use gravity as an example.
Sure.
Do you not have faith that gravity exists, or do you know for a fact?
Can you see? Are you watching the TV?
No.
Oh, because I'm holding the pin up in front of my face.
Yes.
And I just let it go and it fell. That's a clear. If anybody's God was even half as demonstrable as what I could do with this pin to demonstrate the truth of gravity, we would never be having these conversations.
Well, now,
you don't get to pretend that faith in God is equivalent to the faith in watching a pin drop. Those aren't the same things. They're not even the same ballpark.
I don't understand why they're not the same things.
Yeah.
That's what I'm not getting here, because you've demonstrated that when you let go of a pen, it's going to fall.
Yes.
You have not demonstrated gravity. You have not proven that gravity was the cause of that.
Oh, that's where you're wrong. Is gravity is the descriptive label that we put on that activity.
That force.
That apparent
gravity
force.
has an actual definition.
Yes.
How do you know that that is what is actually causing the pen to fall?
Well, I'm not saying what is causing the pen to fall. I'm describing a phenomenon.
Do you believe it is gravity which is causing the pen to fall?
See, you're using gravity as an entity, as a causal agent. And I'm using gravity as a description of what happens, the attraction of items with mass.
Right, which is gravity. So you believe that gravity exists.
I believe that bodies of mass attract each other because this is demonstrable, and we label this phenomenon.
But how do you know that it is the gravity, that it is the mass which is attracting the pen?
I didn't say it was the mass that was doing the attracting. I'm demonstrating a phenomenon.
Yes.
Okay, demonstrate a phenomenon for your God.
Miracles.
Has there been a confirmed demonstrable miracle?
Yes.
Where? When?
Well, I have seen a miracle.
Okay, how can we prove that you've seen a miracle?
Well, I don't know how I'm going to prove it to you, to
Well,
convince
can you demonstrate
but you
anything
asked
close
me.
to dropping a pen?
No, I'm not talking about drop. I know you can drop a pen.
Okay, well, I don't know, and neither does anybody else, that there can be miracles. As a matter of fact, every time we've investigated miracles, we've failed to confirm them.
Well, you have also failed to confirm that it is gravity which is causing the pen to
Oh
fall.
my gosh, George, I just told you. Gravity is the label that we
My
put.
point is you have faith in science.
I don't. I have confidence based on demonstrable evidence.
See, now you're changing the terms around.
Yes.
I would say the same thing.
Okay,
About
your
myself.
confidence in a God. What is
Yes.
the evidence for that? What is the evidence that supports your confidence
Well,
that a
now
God exists?
when I look at the world, I see a completely different world than you see.
Clearly.
I have become aware of the existence of God. I have seen miracles.
How can you demonstrate
I have
this?
listened to the teachings of the Bible.
So
and
have
to
I.
me,
So have I.
I have been
George,
convinced.
George,
And that
George, I used to believe that stuff. I'm familiar with the teaching of the Bible. I'm asking you, how can you demonstrate this?
I don't understand
I know.
what you're asking.
I know, and that's part of the problem.
But I don't
See, the
understand
things that I
how-
believe are based on demonstrations and independent confirmation. Those sorts of things that are the result of critical thinking and scientific examination of the universe in which we inhabit.
And how is it different from my examination?
You have no science to back up your claims.
Well, why do I have to have science?
Because science is the single most consistently, demonstrably reliable pathway to discerning what we most best understand about reality. It is this process of examining evidence in the light of critical thinking to determine whether or not this evidence is sound, and the model that we've constructed from it, does it actually comport with reality? That is science. It is based on the logical absolutes, which
But science is changing all the time.
no. You're confusing the findings of scientists using science to discover reality with
what I'm
science.
talking about is faith.
No,
and
you're not.
I'm talking about faith.
No, you're not.
And let me bring up an example.
I've been waiting for an example since we started the call.
At one point, it was believed that the universe was static.
Yes.
And even Albert Einstein believed this.
Yes.
And he thought it was foolery to suggest that the universe was in motion.
Yes. And do you know what changed people's minds?
Yes.
Evidence, not faith.
And had that evidence not come out, is it safe to say you yourself would probably today believe
I would be wrong.
in Einstein's theory?
Yeah,
So you would
I'd
be
vote
putting
wrong.
your faith
No, I'm not
in
putting faith.
Einstein.
No,
and
you
his
see,
theories.
there's no.
Yes, and I don't
No.
understand the difference.
George, if you shut up for a second, I'll explain the difference. The difference is science doesn't tell you about truth. Science doesn't make claims of absolute certainty, and it doesn't make pronouncements about truth. What science provides you with is the best model that best explains all of the current evidence. That's it. And so the model will change as our understanding improves. So it is this is our tentative position, not our belief about truth, our tentative position about the nature of reality based on the evidence that we have. And the way we go about trying to make sure that the model that we have improves and becomes more and more accurate is by exploring the universe, discovering new information, and building better models that are based on evidence. Faith does not enter into the equation at all.
Then why do you believe it? Why do you believe that the universe is in motion, and as opposed to being static?
I accept the current scientific theories because
you do not believe it.
I accept the current scientific models because they are demonstrably the best models that fit the evidence. I am not saying that I believe that they are true, absolutely certain.
So why is it wrong for me to accept the things that I believe?
Because you don't have the evidence to back up your beliefs.
But I see the evidence.
It's
things
almost
that
like
I see are-
asking. It's almost like if a jury is looking at evidence for a trial, and some of the jurors say, all of this evidence points to